All right. Welcome to the Thriving Money Show. This is the show that we help you to make money, execute sales, be better at financial literacy, building your business, everything to help build you up so that you can get to the next level. And today, I am going to make a special attempt to have a special guest for you today. This is all about how to build out your virtual professional team in the Philippines the right way. Okay. Because a lot of people just don't understand how to build a team at something that you could more than likely afford and something that's going to help a lot of people in the Philippines. And also, don't limit yourself to what's actually possible. So, we're going to talk about that in today's version of the Thriving Money Show. So, my special guest has been one of my virtual professionals for, I don't know, it seems like at least 3 years, I feel like, maybe even four, probably three. But she is an A player. And I'm just going to show you the type of quality that you can find by extremely smart, hardworking, knowledgeable people in the Philippines that you have access to if you just know the rules, you know where to look, and you know how to find these all-star talents that can take your business to the next level. So my special guest is Rio Espinosa. Actually, her name, she goes by Riri, but we'll call her Rio Espinosa on this particular channel. So Rio, again, she's been with me for 3 years. She's a superstar. You're going to find out the quality that you can have. And believe me, by the end of this, you're going to be rushing to try to find out who you can hire to build your team. So what's going on, Rio? How are you today?
Hi, Marvin. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Good evening. I'm good. I'm definitely hearing your words today about how you describe the virtual team and myself. I'm very happy. I can't even. I'm lost for words because those are definitely kind words, great compliments for the team and the rest of in the virtual professional team. So I'm happy. Recent changes, but yeah, we're rocking and rolling each and every day.
All right. So, Rio, you are a part of the virtual professional team and you're doing an amazing job. And can you just tell people why does this work for you? Well, first off, tell people what you do at Compass
Mm-hmm.
and kind of your journey, how long you've been with me on my team, and what are some of the tasks that you've done over time, and what are you doing now as descriptive as you can.
Yep. So I started in December of 2021. I've been with Compass for more than a couple of years. I started as a general virtual professional, so I've done like simple tasks like scheduling appointments, um, helping out with managing client communications, managing our email campaigns. I also have followed up on some of our clients if they have like simple questions. So that's pretty much where I started. And then I transitioned into doing our 15-minute calls for wealth creation appointments. And then now I'm in servicing. So what I do is I see each client requests from start to finish. So from the time that they call in up until when the request gets processed, provide that update to the client. I make sure that that gets done. We also help build what we call the first call resolution team for Compass. So the team is comprised of three virtual professionals, including myself. So what we do in the goal of the first call resolution team is to help out the clients right on their first call. So we're going to cover all possibilities for them to, ask questions. If that is something that can be resolved right on the first call, that's the first call resolution team, then the better. So any issues, any concerns, we try to assist the client right on their first call. And, if not, we make sure that when we get back to them, there is a proper resolution for their issues.
That's so awesome. So That sounds a lot more than just some basic admin tasks, Rio. So
Mhm.
so the point is, you all, the sky's the limit on what you can use a virtual professional for. Anything that you could think of in the U.S., you can do the same thing with somebody in the Philippines. So what we have to do is we have to expand our mind and know what's possible. Rio has taken appointments, believe it or not. She's done these 15-minute appointments where on these 15-minute appointments, she's asked clients their financial information. She's gotten she's set appointments for our advisors. We have people on our team that helps us out with marketing, helps us out with technology, helps us out with so many different things. I can go on and on and on, but and we just hired three more people, so we're going to be up to over 10 people on our virtual professional team for Compass, as well as 8 virtual professionals for my wealth creators. Um, but you're meeting one of my key team members from the Philippines right now. So, can you explain? I think one of the things that's very important is people need to understand why you all would choose to work with a US based company or any company outside of the Philippines. So, can you explain some of the benefits that you have of working with a US based team, especially Compass?
Mhm. Great question, Marvin. So, in my tenure, I came from the call center industry, and that's about 13 years of experience. I've worked for the most part, I think 12 years of it with US companies, circling on customer service, technical support. So it's heavily inclined to US customers, US based customers. So being able to transition from working um, in office to being able to work remotely is a great benefit because traffic is a serious situation in the Philippines. Back when I was still reporting in office, when I was still working in the call center industry, it takes me about 6 hours in total back and forth going to the office and then going home. So this opportunity, and like what I always believe, being able to work remotely here in the Philippines is a privilege. Having this opportunity to work at the comfort of my home, having that 6 hours back in my life to spend time with my family is definitely a blessing. So that's the biggest benefit for me of being able to work remotely. And what I would consider as another benefit is being able to use my background in customer service, transitioning to working in client servicing with Compass. So it's also client facing, whatever skills I learned in the past, helping out with customers, I get to use it again, even polish it, even do better at it. And at the same time, learning new processes, new things that would make the customer's experience, a better experience than what it used to be. So
That's
that's it.
that's that's awesome, Rio. So, can you explain to me, like, how do we? Well, I want people to understand that when you hire people from the Philippines, that you have to incorporate them into your culture. This is not separate. Like, oh, this is my U.S. team and this is my Filipino team. That's not how it works. You have to train and you have to onboard and you have to include in part of your meeting. So, can you explain just what your experience has been like? Um, Basically incorporating within the team, and do you feel like an outsider on the team? I mean, you can kind of explain that because I want people to get an understanding of how to truly build a world-class team.
Absolutely. And no, Marvin, I never felt there was never a time that I felt that I was an outsider. Neither my does my teammates as well. We all felt right at the start that we are part of Team Compass. We had a great onboarding. We get to meet with everyone, explain, what each department does. We attend our daily meetings. We get to be updated with what's going on. We get to receive feedback, which is great. We have training. we don't necessarily go to a task without knowing anything about it. The team makes sure that we're well equipped, we're prepared, and if we have questions, they're always available to answer those questions for us and explain some processes so that we can better understand and we can better assist the clients the following time, or I mean, the next time. Yep.
That's awesome. So you got people that's on this call now, and maybe they haven't hired people before, but they know they need someone. They're handling too many admin tasks themselves. They need somebody to maybe manage their calendar, maybe do some just whatever, right? Maybe they have a business and they're looking for people to expand with. How do people find, like, what type of quality should a person look for when they're hiring somebody in the Philippines that can be an A-plus player like you?
Mm. Thank you, Marvin. So I believe in a principle that really correlates with everything else that we do. First and foremost, you got to find a person that has integrity. That's very big, especially if the person is working remotely, very far away from you. That person should have integrity to do things that's right, even, no one is looking. That's definitely a very important value that that person should have, or a virtual professional should have. So they should be honest, they should be open to feedback. That's number two, because there's no way that a person would improve unless they were given feedback, unless someone else can see from an outside perspective how that person is going. So they should be open, communicative, and receptive to feedback. And lastly, that person should also be hardworking. That's very important, because if the person is hardworking, whatever tasks are being given to them are being seen as an opportunity for them to grow, instead of looking at it otherwise, or looking at it as something as, I'm going to be given another task, I just need to finish it. But if a person is hardworking and committed, the person would see being given more tasks as a sign of trust from, your boss, from your team members, because they're entrusting you with something, that they know, that they trust that you can do. So those three things.
That's awesome. So you all, we are at this point in time, we will do Q&A. Any questions that you have about bringing on a world-class team, bringing on a virtual professional from another country, some of the concerns, some of the things that have held you back in the past, whatever you want. At this time, go ahead and type the questions. Right now, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, we're on LinkedIn, Facebook, on different platforms. So we're watching most of those platforms right now. So if you have a question, go ahead and type it in the chat, and we'll get those questions answered for you. So while I'm waiting on people to ask questions, again, you're standing in front of a multimillionaire and a key person that's that's a virtual professional from the Philippines is on my team right now. So I'm telling you, it's not about me. It's about the team that I have around me. So this is your opportunity, if you have questions, to go ahead and ask those questions. In the meantime, this is at the end of Rio's shift, and it is early for her. Right now, as we speak, it's 7:38 Eastern. But what time is it where you are right now, Rio?
It's about 7:38 Manila time in the morning,
AM.
April
AM. So
23rd.
that means she worked through the night. So
Yes, that's right.
how is it? That has to be tough. I mean, you're working overnight because the time zones are not the
Hmm.
same. So can you express to me, and I know you had a very busy weekend. You just moved into a new place. You got a bigger place. Um, and you worked throughout the entire night in the morning. And in the morning, you moved into your new place. How did you do it? And how does it feel working overnight?
Um, Hello.
I hear you. I think you're there.
Oh, yes. Okay. I'm still here. Yes. So I'm used to it. I've worked with the night shift for a lot of years already. So I'm I'm pretty much used to, the different time zones, working at night and sleeping in the morning. So it wasn't a problem at all.
So, couple questions that we got in. And Brian, if you see any of these questions anywhere, you can drop them in the chat. A couple questions that we got in is, where do you find the VP? One of the places that I started off finding my VPs was a place called My Outdesk. That's MYOUTDESK. That's My Outdesk. Let them know that Marvin Mitchell sent you if you do go to My Outdesk. And what's so great about that is they'll line up. They'll find out what your needs are. They'll line up several virtual professionals that you could interview, and you can choose the one that's right for you, which is great, right? I love that because if you don't know, you can find out. You want to speak it. Who speaks great English? Who's a go getter? Who do you feel that has integrity? Who do you feel that's a hard worker? So those are the things you can look for. And when you find somebody that you like, you better hire them quick, because if you're in front of a lot of people, somebody else is in front of a lot of people as well. And if you don't pick the one that you like, somebody else will. I know when I interviewed Rio, I didn't need to talk to 10 other people. I was like, okay, we want Rio, hire her now before anybody else gets a chance to hire her. So that's one good thing. And there's another website that you can go to, onlinejobs.ph. Onlinejobs.ph is also a good place to find them. But I would recommend you start with My Outdesk, because they're already gonna train them. They're gonna make sure that they are, helping you pick the right people. So that's important. So there's specific places to find VPs for specific industries, such as Airbnb. Instead of looking for there are specific industry like real estate, but instead of looking at My Outdesk actually specializes in real estate and things such as Airbnb. But I would rather look at qualities that you need to hire for, rather than just looking at, a specific industry, because they're very trainable, very coachable, and very hardworking. So they will adapt to whatever you need. What's the amount that you can pay for a good VA? In US dollars, you can pay as little as $4 an hour. But I will tell you this, I would never hire somebody at the lowest amount that I can hire them. Because same way, if you're hiring in the United States, you want to pay somebody the lowest amount, you might get the lowest quality of a skill set. Not all the time, but pay them $7 an hour, $8 an hour. You can go, you could determine what that is, but you can get a bunch of people for $4 an hour. If you have nobody, try it out, pay somebody. But I'm telling you, if you pay somebody a little bit more, you might get not twice as much of the quality. You might get 10 times more quality. All right. Let's see. Do we have any additional questions here? Let me check my YouTube by chance. All right, cool. All right. So Rio, we're going to get ready to conclude. I'm not going to keep people long. I just wanted people to really understand what's possible when you do have a good VA team. Now, can you explain Team Compass, the dynamics of our team, and the different virtual professionals that we have, and what they do to contribute to the overall success of the team?
Okay. So, in the virtual professional team, we have virtual professionals with different tasks. So, we have our schedulers, we have our servicing team, we have someone who helps with marketing. And what our primary task is to make sure to get the team all the help that they need in order for our US team in Compass focus on their specialized tasks. So, for example, instead of the advisor doing like admin tasks, or documentation, notes, anything else that can be taken away from the advisor so they can focus more on assisting our clients, we do that. So the primary goal is to help the team as much as possible in all tasks that we can help the team with. That way, the rest of our team members can focus on their specialized tasks, focus on the client's experience even more, focus on helping new leads, new prospects. So there, the
Mhm.
tasks varies. Each virtual professional have their own skill sets, and we rely on each other to be able to communicate and have that independent working environment that when we help the clients, we know what to do. We know what has happened. Everything is properly transitioned from one person, one department to the other to make sure that at the end of the day, would the client would have an amazing experience.
Absolutely. Someone asked the question, when did you know you were ready to hire your first VP? To my mind, I want you to think about this. What task are you doing that costs you too much, right? So for somebody for 40 hours, well, let's say part time, 20 hours a week, 20 hours a week. If you pay somebody at the lowest end, $4, that's $80 time for $320 a month time 12, about $3,800 for the year, potentially. Now, again, it's not going to be someone highly skilled, but for some people, you may not need anyone just highly skilled just yet, right? It will cost you more money in one day attempting to do it yourself if you could take 2 hours back of your time and spend that time thinking and planning on building your business or planning on getting your life back. Is it worth it? So I would argue to say that I don't know who's not ready for a virtual professional. I think that we all could use a virtual professional, no matter what stage you are in your business growth. And even if you don't have a business, I know a lot of people who have virtual professionals and they don't have a business. They just work a regular job and they still find ways to have a virtual professional help them on their journey. So, what shifts do a virtual professional typically work? It depends. If you need somebody graphic design, they may be able to work their own shift and you just wake up and then it's done, right? But for me, we have business hours. So mostly all of my virtual professionals work during US time, right? So if it's 8 to 4:30, they're working overnight, but they'll still do it, and you can find many people who are willing to work overnight. In fact, a lot who are willing to work overnight. Okay, so the action that you can take, you all, two actions. Number one, you can go to hire you a virtual professional. You know, if you don't know where to start at My Outdesk. If you want to start doing your own interviewing, you can go to onlinejobs.ph. So My Outdesk is MYOUTDESK.com. Tell them Marvin Mitchell sent you. Or you could go to onlinejobs.ph, which is another great site, but you have to do a lot more of the research, but it's also, you would pay also a lot less as well. So depending on where you're coming from, you'll be responsible for pretty much a lot of the searching and finding on your own. Okay, so another thing I wanted to mention is that I have a 5-day challenge coming up, and I do a free webinar. Every week. That free webinar, if you simply go to wealthcreationclass.com, wealthcreationclass.com, you can sign up for my free webinar, or you can sign up for my 5-day challenge at transformyourwealthchallenge.com. Transformyourwealthchallenge.com. So with that being said, this is the Thriving Money Show. Hopefully we open your eyes to what is possible. All you have to do is take action. You can do anything you put your mind to. My virtual professionals have helped me to grow a multi-million-dollar business, and that business will continue to grow as we continue to build our team. What is holding you back? The only thing that's holding you back is your own limited beliefs and your own thinking. You thinking that you're not ready. You thinking that what am I going to do to fulfill someone's time? I had those same thoughts, but let me tell you this. You're going to find things to do. And even if you don't, who cares? If someone can take one task away from you, who cares if they work the full time? Just find you somebody to help and get it going, because the only way that you can elevate is if you learn to delegate. You cannot elevate without delegate. Okay, so we are off, you all. Again, the Thriving Money Show. Make sure that you subscribe to us on YouTube. Make sure that you like us, share it. Tell some people, tell a friend to tell a friend. Sign up for our free challenge, our free webinar at wealthcreationclass.com. That being said, I'm out of here. Peace out. Talk to you later. Thanks, Rio.
Thanks, Marvin.